Okay, so I just got done rebuilding the motor on this. I put a new head gasket in it, and today I got to get the motor from here onto the Cbr1000 here. Got to somehow get it mounted back into the chassis. So we got the motor here set up on a couple of blocks. I'm going to get a couple of jacks underneath it to try to hoist it up. But the thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get this bike from here to over the entire thing. Try to get this thing just don't knock it over.
I'm gonna grab.
Try to pick up. No, don't grab there. Yeah, grab there. Alright. Jesus. Hold on. Bring it that way. Boom. Whoa, don't let the motor fall. Hold on. There we go. Think that'll do, donkey.
Okay.
Oh, at least get me started. What's it caught up on? Oh, right there. Hold on. Hold the motor. Alright. Why is it? It's a little crooked. That'll do. Something like that. So now I've got the motor inside of the frame. Just hoist it, boom, into here. Now the motor's got to be lifted, and you want this level. Right now it's not level, so we'll get that level, hoist the frame up, and see if we can slap it in there. So we've got to get this mount here up to here on the back. Same thing, this mount from here to there. The whole time we're going to make sure that we're not pinching any of the wiring, because we have all of our fuel injector plugs, coil packs. We want to make sure we're not, you know, like something like this. Can't have that in the way. Otherwise, you'll put the motor in, get it bolted up, and the thing will just be, you'll have to re-drop it just to get the wire out, unless you cut the wires. But so I just had a marvelous idea here. I think I'm going to try to lower, take the whole front end and lower it, because all I really have to do is get this mark, this mount down to this mount, so it doesn't have to be lowered much. This bike is already lowered, which I was going to raise it back to its OEM position anyway. So I'm going to break these bolts loose and try to slowly lower the entire front end here and see what happens. Alright. So we loosen the triple clamp here and here. Boom. Now for the handlebars. Quick trick if you ever need some leverage. Use a open end. Boom. Screws the bottom. Basically, you want your control here. So we're going to do top bottom. So these two are loose. So that means this side is loose. And now, when you go to this side, try to loosen this. Come on, good try. There you go. Loosen that. Boom. Crank, crank. So I think what I'm going to do here, so it doesn't go too low, is I'm going to set this just temporarily. I'm going to put the screw in back in here, as you can see. That way, when this thing falls, it can't actually fall past this point, because then we're stuck. I'm lifting it back up. Alright, doesn't have to be crazy tight. Just enough. Just enough. Okay, that'll do. Now I loosen this thing should drop. So we'll see what happens. Come on. Okay, so the front end's loose now. So you can see it dropping. Boom. Need a little more out of it. There we go. Okay, you can see how much it dropped, a few inches. We're almost at the height we need to be right here. I'm gonna try to get it a little lower. Come on. A little bit more. Okay, so I got this mount to the height where it needs to be at. You can see, boom, boom. This other side is pretty darn close. So we're gonna try and, you see the back still needs to go up obviously, but my hope is to get these front ones in, lock them in loosely, and then be able to just have to jack up the back. So I've got to get the swing arm pivot point lower than this point right here, so I can actually push the bike forward and the motor, bring the motor back. So I'm going to try and, because I can't get a jack in there really, I'm going to try and deflate this rear tire and see the swing arm will come down a bit. This is probably not going to work, but we'll see. Okay, so flattening the tire did actually work a bit. We got it lower than it was before, but not low enough. So we'll think about this for a second and see what we can come up with. Okay, so I'm gonna try and jack this thing up via ratchet straps. This is a stretch, but a possibility. So let's see. Just gonna like go through there, feed it through there. Pull this tight. Lock it in there. Pull it tight. And crank. Fuck. Fuck. Don't delete. Try with that. Working. Let me see what I can call it. Oh, you know what? This whole fucking thing has to go that way. Let's get out. Screwdriver should work. Get this over a bit. This actually looks too low. Oh, yeah, front got slightly too low. Okay, so let's get this semi-tight. Pick it up. And do a quick tightening. Okay. Let's see if we're clear there. Looks like there's more room to go up. Let's try it again. Get it lock. Fuck. Okay. There we go. You can see it lifting here. Boom. Okay. So now that that's clear, you can see what I did there. Picking it up from the rear so we could clear, so you can see the space now for the swing arm, and I can push this whole bike forward now. Push this whole bike forward. Okay. Let's get these out first. Let's get these out, see if we can't move this bike forward. We've got to get, see, we're almost there. We've got to get this into here. So let's try a little more. Boom. Should be good. Let's check the other side. So the other side still needs a little loving. So it looks like that actually could get a little higher, but I think we're almost there. Let's sink. Yeah, that will work. We have to the point now where we can kind of maneuver it a bit. These are frame sliders, nuts and bolts. This I believe is for that. Cam sensor. What the fuck is this for? Oh. Boom, that's this one here. I don't believe there's a spacer on this one. Right, so that's gonna go in there. And then this is the other side. So let's get that spacer in. Here. If I'm not mistaken. Probably am, but who knows? Let's try lowering it again slightly. Close, we're very close. Just a little bit more love. Boom. Did that work? Shift the motor in here. So we got this bolt started here. Just screwing it in like halfway. You don't want to screw it in too little or too much. But you don't want to pull the motor. You also don't want to break it. So I'm waiting for that spacer until I get the bolt started. And that's this one. So you can see how the motor's cocked. Right now that's why I didn't do that fully. I just want to make sure we hang out that point. So now I can try to jack this up. Jack set up. We start slowly jacking this motor up. We're just trying to meet this bolt with these threads here. If you start taking the bike with the motor, that's not a good sign. So that's actually starting to happen. Let's see where it's caught up. Looks like it's caught right there, if I'm not mistaken. Let's try that again. It ain't easy. It ain't easy jacking shit off. Let's try it again. Back to trying to jack this thing off. Kind of get that side held up. Man, what is going on? And it's about time for a zen though. Get the old brain fired up. So this motor is crooked. The bike is like, if you can look and see how off square this motor is now, so I gotta figure out getting it nice and square. I figured that out. This whole thing was twisted. The bike and motor was twisted, but this piece was holding it up. So I actually got it inside now, and now when I jack this thing up, only the motor's coming up, which is what you want. So you can see it's almost in. Come on. Come on, you got this, girl. See, there we go. Let's get our bolt ready here. A little more torque on her. Yep, there we go. Boom. We're pretty much in. Don't want to fuck with it at all. Boom. It's pretty dang good right there. Just lower it slightly. Engine mounts. These are important. These are going to be top and bottom. You got to hoist her up a bit more to get these in. That's really important here are these spacers. So the spacer is going to go here like this. Now we're going to have to try to kind of simultaneously lift this motor up while I try to feed it through. So let's get a pry bar in there, lift it up. Boom, you see how that slides in nice and easy. So now we've got it halfway in. This piece is gonna go right in here. Come on, you son of a gun. Sons of guns. Okay, so now that you got that in, now with a little persuasion, get that started. Boom. So I've got the top one in. Now it's time for the bottom. That should slide right in. So this arguably is the most important part. This bolt, before you tighten the nut on this other side, this bolt rotates. And when you rotate this bolt, you can see this thing right here rotating with it. Hopefully you can see that. So you can see right here, when I rotate this piece right here, where my finger is gonna start to squeeze the motor that way. So you wanna push the motor where it's gotta be before you do any sort of tightening down on these engine mounts. So I'm gonna give these quite a bit of torque here. And that's gonna push the motor where it needs to be. A lot of people forget this part. I've bought bikes before and I'm looking, I'm like, damn, that thing's all twisted because they forgot to do this part. So this one, I don't know if you can see. Back of the lock nut. Contact. Give it a little oomph. Couple oomph. Boom. We're gonna get this other spacer in here. That's gotta go right in there. Boom. Like a glove. Quick. Boom. Now we gotta pull this bolt out here. Put this spacer in. Boom. So this has me doing 47 foot-pounds. You can see here on all the bolts and the nuts that are going to be on the other side. What are those? Another 47 foot-pounds. Okay. Our thing, 47. Let's put the spacer in. It's going to take a little persuasion, I suppose. Let's do that side first, actually. So we got a jack on the frame now. Weights off the motor. Trying to line this last little hole up. It's off like a 32nd of an inch. And you can see like the way this fits in here is that it doesn't allow any sort of like deviance. It has to be dead on. So I'm trying to get this thing started, but yeah, see the problem is somebody stripped the threads. Somebody stripped the first quarter of threads in the mount, so it doesn't grab. It won't grab, and I can't get this thing in. You can't. Let me trim some of this off. Okay, so I was finally able to get this spacer in here. So I'm gonna fucking tighten this down. It should go in. to like half torqued there. Alright, that's 47 foot-pounds. Use this to pull the motor temporarily. So I'm going to put this one back in on this side. It's supposed to go. Spacer in. Fuck. So I got the motor mounted. Got these two in. Got the spacer in. These are all tightened down. Nuts are torqued down to 47 foot-pounds. This is torqued down. Now the only thing that I didn't do, because these threads are like partially washed out, I tried to fix the issue. This is a bolt. Tried to sand it down to like make it a little smaller, but the threads are stripped past like a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to try to get a longer bolt and use that, but that's not important right now. That'll be like when this thing's actually on the street. For now, I just want to get it all plugged in, put together, and see if it runs. Okay, now that I got the motor in, it's time to start plugging everything in. So first thing, I've got coil packs here. I've already put the spark plugs in. I've already labeled these, and I've kept them plugged in just so I know which is which, because I have made that mistake before of actually crossing the what's it called? I gotta get that off. God damn, man. Yeah, whoever worked on this bike before me butchered this thing. Alright, these are all gonna go, I believe, something like this. Contrary to what you might believe. Okay, that one's in. That one's in. That one is in. Now we gotta get number 4 in. Let's get a screwdriver in there. Oh, nice. Pry that out. That's gonna go in there like this. You should hear a click. And now it's time to plug these in. Boom. You got your coil packs plugged in. Now it's just a bunch of miscellaneous things. You really want to make sure you don't screw these up. It's hard to do. It's hard to screw these up, but you can do it. I was working on a S1000 once, and I actually forgot, or I didn't forget. BMW made it. There's 3 plugs coming out of the throttle bodies, and BMW decided to make 2 of them the same. And it took me 3 days of trying to troubleshoot and run this thing, and it wouldn't fire. And I only found out on the 3rd day that I had crossed 2 wires. And so the input for the throttle bodies, for the throttle position sensor, was reading the position of the butterfly valve, so there was no throttle response. And it wouldn't fire because it wouldn't open the butterfly valves, which are servo actuated. Don't forget your starter here. Fuck. That's in. Boom. Get that threaded in. Tighten this down. Time to plug in your stator. Boom. Straightforward. Got that in. Give you power. Let's get this coolant line in. Make it less stressful for ourselves. Let's get that all out of the way. Feed that through there. Don't forget our rubber band, or whatever the frick you call that. Come on, come on. Make sure you tighten this, obviously. These are the little things that I tend to forget to do. That's going to connect to your radiator. Make sure these are all tightened. I think I might have loosened these. Yep. Reinstall these gizmos. These are absolutely pointless if you're running mods, but these are mostly just for, what's it called, emissions. bullshit. I like big loud motors. Time for the throttle bodies. Make sure all your wires are out of the way. And now this is going to be a bitch. I'm actually going to put my throttle cables in first. So to do that, you want to fully retract the throttle. So this would be 0%. And then see which way they open, and that's going to tell you what goes where. So I'm going to feed and put that like there. Make sure you're in your groove here. And then we're going to do this just so we can, I believe this just gets locked down. Wait, I did that wrong. This is the pull cable. Lock that in like there. Come here, girl. There we go. Alright, boom. Alright, now we got that like that. And kind of adjust our slack here. I'm gonna bring this up a bit, this down a bit. So now we got a throttle that works. I always like to get one side kind of in. A little hate is get a little oil. I'm gonna dust the inside of these boots with a little bit of oil here. Now it's just a matter of trying to press these bad boys in. Sometimes you just gotta get angry. Okay, boom. This isn't gonna hurt anything if I do it like this. It'll all be good. Boom. We've got the throttle bodies in. So we're gonna plug in our injectors and fuel pressure gauge. Now this is something I should have marked, but typically is what you'll see is that these can only actually reach one of the injectors. So like I know this one goes here just by the way the wire feels, basically. This makes sense? Alright, so that's in. And you'll know if you mess this up. That's in. That's in. And you see like how this one won't reach this one or this one, so you know that this one has to be there, and vice versa. I'm not 100% sure what these are, but I know they go here. These are your coolant. Somehow this somewhere might be vacuum operated, honestly. Where's this other piece? Oh, of course. It's nice and stuck in here. Come here, come here, come here. These are always the worst. Fuck. Right, so that's gotta get rerouted real quick. We gotta push this back a bit. Get these zip ties in real quick. Crank sensor plug. Don't forget this. That goes in like that. Boom. All that's left to do now is put the airbox back on, put the exhaust on, oil cooler, connect all the coolant lines, fill it with oil, fill it with coolant, and then see if it runs, which I know it'll run, but make sure the coolant problem has gone away. So that'll be